What's up, guys? This is Dave from The Disorderly. I'm joined by the lovely Ash. We suffered through the recent reboot, the latest remake, reboot, the latest one, the newest one, Terminator Dark Fate. Ash, not the biggest fan. I'm myself not the biggest fan. We kind of rewatched T2 just to kind of like bring it back into my headspace. She had seen like Terminator. We rewatched T2 like this weekend. Mm-hmm. We saw what is it? Terminator. Dark Fate.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't as disappointed as I think you are.
I'm more disappointed because I grew up loving Terminator. Like, I grew up with, Terminator 2 is, T2, as the kids call it.
I mean, that was a good movie. That was the first time I saw it, Sunday?
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. It was a good watch. And
it's considered one of the greatest action movies of all time. People will throw it out there. You know what I mean? And I think it stands... even today, it's wacky craziness and all its absolute nonsense. But yeah, I don't know. Dark Fate is just it started off strong and then it just gets in full spoilers. Spoilers, by the way.
It was too long. They could have cut probably half an hour out at least of nonsense.
I had such high hopes because the first opening scene where I don't know if it's the opening scene, but the early scene where they have the digital de-aging and then kind of the John Connor scene and Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this looks good. Holy shit. Like, she looks good. They got some kid to come in and play, John. And you see Arnold walk through, and apparently the same guy that's done all the digital de-aging that was there for, like, Genesis. It's the same guy that comes back every time for Arnold. And,
interesting.
So he just, boom, blows him away. And then, I was like, all right, well, here we go. Let's rock and roll, because that basically, eliminates the entire movie that we just, kind of rewatched T2. I mean, T2, the entire struggle, nothing matters. He just gets
blasted. The future is completely changed now.
Gets blasted. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a hopeless story. You know what I mean? Where the movie is kind of a soft reboot where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter even if John is killed. A different dimensions, timelines Terminator is going to come back to kill someone else.
Well, I feel like you're just in this vicious circle of this is what's going to happen. You're trying to prevent the end of the world, but the end of the world is going to just be created by someone else eventually in a different manner, I guess. Because in the second one, they destroy the Terminator, the hand, arm, and that chip, and then they destroy the Terminator. I thought the whole point of that was so that nothing could be made again. But clearly, here comes another Terminator back. Carl.
They say if you call the number that was on his van, it's an actual answering machine.
That's good. Of Carl?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Telling you about the drapery.
That's hilarious if that's real.
But,
My biggest thing that started letting me down was the quote-unquote enhanced woman.
Mackenzie Davis.
Yes. As Grace. And I'm like, she's clearly not the best person to be protecting our new essential person for the humanity to survive.
Why isn't she great?
Because she just fucking kirks out and can't do jack shit after like 30 seconds of exertion.
Well, she's fighting Terminator, damn it. You know what I mean?
But why isn't she just a Terminator?
Well, I don't know how she's better than a Terminator.
Not.
You know what I mean? She's not better than a Terminator, so it defeats the purpose. But this is better than Kyle Reese, who was just a guy.
Yeah.
And then they went Kyle Reese, and then they go from Kyle Reese to Terminator.
Which I like that.
And then in the third movie, because this is forsaking all the horrible sequels,
which
from
I have
T3
not seen,
to Salvation to Genesis. Those are just wiped from the slate like the Star Wars legends of old. You know what I mean? Like just get them on out of here. But you know what I mean? So to go from a guy to a Terminator back to kind of like a hybrid person, and
I had hopes for this hybrid person.
Well,
like it could have been cool.
I think that's what was sort of in Salvation, right? Wasn't Sam?
I never saw that one.
Yeah, Sam Worthington. He's like a half human, or he's like a replicant, where he's like not quite self-aware, or is he self-aware? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I'm always fascinated by these movies and the fabulous technologies they have, and then just can't solve the simplest of problems of like, imagine like we're watching The Walking Dead and they're like struggling to survive against zombies, brain dead zombies. And then we're in the same situation situation in a post-apocalyptic world where your adversary is artificial intelligence, the most intelligent intelligence, right? And they can't just wipe us out. A simpler tactic is to invent time travel and go back in time, and then how the hell does mankind invent time travel as well?
Well, that's the one thing that was weird about this, because Grace went back in time to save this girl. Cannot for the life of you remember her name. Danny.
She's very famous.
Very famous. But she just went back to protect her because she saved her in the future. And I'm like, did she die or something in the future? And you're trying to prevent that? Or she just knew a Terminator was going to come get her because she was the rebel leader, essentially. Star Wars reference, I guess.
Well, I always don't understand why, after seeing T2, John Connor, not really a brilliant strategist. I don't really consider him, you know what I mean? He didn't go to West Point or something, you know what I mean? So, like,
he was taught by his mom.
I understand, but I mean, like, how is he going to lead a rebellion? You know what I mean? The same thing with this chick. She's working in a factory somewhere,
factory,
right?
Yeah.
So I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just...
Hamilton, brutal. Linda Hamilton coming back, and just Arnold's back, and it's all kind of sad to me, and they're old, and she's like growly, and she's like Carrie Fisher vibes and Harrison Ford vibes.
Sure.
It's like watching The Force Awakens, but they were just like, just do Terminator. You know what I mean?
Didn't bother me as much as it bothered you. I mean, yeah, she's old, and that's sad, but would you rather her just not been in it?
Yeah, actually, yeah. But I mean, I think...
And Arnold too?
Yeah, just don't be in it. It's just, I'm just tired of seeing them try to invent some weird storyline where explaining away why you have a 70-year-old Terminator.
Yeah.
And then Linda Hamilton's there, but like her character's terrible.
I mean, the story would have
like
been
a
fine.
bitter old growly woman. Like she is Mac's mom on Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's not a reference that strikes home with Ash, but I hope that landed real hard with you guys at home. Linda Hamilton in this movie is just brutal. You don't like her, you know what I mean? Like you sympathize.
Don't care.
No, you just, I mean,
you don't even care that she lost her son. Like you're just a little annoying. Oh, you've killed Terminators before? Cool. I don't know. I would have rather seen more story regarding the new girl who was the savior or whatever, and the new Terminator or hybrid chick.
Yeah. Just give Mackenzie Davis the movie.
She's good.
She's the best actor in this film, like she's surrounded by, like, I wonder what she was like on set. Like if she was just like, holy shit, like this is gonna be so bad, or you know what I mean? Because she's like a real actress, you know what I mean? Like I think she's developing, but like you go back and watch like Blade Runner 2049, you watch the Black Mirror episode, like San Juanapino or whatever it's called,
something like that.
I never saw Tully. I haven't watched a lot of like Halt and Catch Fire, but like there's a lot of kind of
I
there's a lot with her, you know what I mean? So she's coming, and then she's surrounded by, she got Linda Hamilton, she's got this poor chick Danny who is famous from like Colombian telenovelas. Like you can't find it. Yeah, I mean this is like the biggest thing in ever for her, and she's just like, terrible. Diego Luna is kind of doing his thing, I guess. I don't know, just being a robot. I mean, he's just running around. He's just weirdly CGI running from scene to scene.
Can we talk about the robot?
Which robot? Rev 9? The new one?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, Diego. Yeah, did you like it?
Why in the world did it have to look so crap? Like, why?
Like, do you mean with his skin on, or with the CGI?
The CGI'd robot.
When it's just a black robot
it's just
metal?
a black blob. Like, the metal robot, I don't mind as much, but more when he's blob-like. Like, we were talking about this. I thought in Terminator 2, when they have the new model of the Terminator, and he can just, like, make his hand into a knife and shove it through your head. Like, I thought that looked better than what they were trying to do with this blob creature.
1992 James Cameron, like, abyss technology.
And I think it's just because they picked the wrong color scheme. Like, why go black? It blends in with the background. You can't see the detail. Or perhaps they did it on purpose because it looks shitty.
I don't know. The whole movie didn't look good. Like, I was talking about this where, like, I'm like, man, holy shit. Like, I'm in a movie theater, so I feel like I'm in a movie and I'm watching a movie, and you're in a big, giant Dolby nice theater, but you're like, you're watching it on the screen, and you're like, I don't know, man. This doesn't feel like a film. Like it looks like bad TV. It looked like a commercial, and I was joking that I was like, this is like you've got grumbly old Arnold and grumbly old Linda. And I was like, this is a bad Super Bowl commercial. You know what I mean? Like you've got. It's like a Super Bowl commercial where they pull back, it's Sarah Jessica Parker and friggin' Lebowski getting a Stella Artois. Like, that's what I'm watching. I'm watching that. That's what I felt like I'm watching. I'm watching some weird parody of a movie. You know what I mean? It just didn't look good at all, you know, and I don't know. It's a weird thing because they're talking about, you know, how James Cameron had all these problems on set with Tim Miller and they weren't collaborating well, and Tim Miller wanted all this control over what it was going to be, and they had, you know, 14 screenwriters, and then, you know, all, you know, and Cameron running around. I just, like, you guys fought and died for this shit, you know what I mean? And Cameron came out and was like, oh, he kind of put the stink out where he was like, you know, there was a lot of conflict on set, and, you know, and I really tried to convince him to do this. So I think he knew, man, he knew this was gonna suck. So
yeah, I mean,
he let Tim Miller just take one on the chin.
It didn't look like a super crisp modern movie.
And it cost like $200 million.
Which is insane.
It's going to lose. They're saying it's going to lose anywhere from 110 to 130 million, just depending on China. Depending on
how it does in China?
Yeah. And I don't know, man. China's a real wild card, you know what I mean? China could love it, China could hate it.
For a action movie, solely entertaining in that respect, I guess. But story pretty sucky. Wouldn't want to rewatch it.
Well, there you go. I mean, it's not any better. People are saying it's not great, but it's still better. And I go, I don't know, man. I never saw Genesis. I'm a big fan, and it was on Netflix. And I go, you got Daenerys Stormborn running around. You got the raccoon Australian man from frigging what's his name, from Suicide Squad, from Die Hard. I can't remember what his name is. They keep giving this guy movies. And then you got John F. Kennedy or Ted Kennedy running around. What is it, Patrick something or other? It was like a nothing movie for me, where he's John Connor and he's some sort of evil creature.
I'm interested to see these other movies just to kind of see where they took the John Connor story. Not that it matters, but like they somewhat set this up to have another story along with it, because the girl isn't that old. They could definitely have a 20 years from now another Terminator comes. But I won't go see it.
It's over. Just reboot it. Just wait 10 years for us all to forget about this, and then just reboot it, you know,
do
and
a different story.
You know, I'm sure it'll be like John Connor will be like a transsexual, a girl or a non-gender binary. You know what I mean? Do something crazy. Maybe it's, you know, just
maybe more global warming will be thrown in there. I don't know.
You know, fun fact, I was talking to one of our friends at the gym, and he was in T2.
No way.
He was he and his brother they were child actors. We
way.
live in Southern California, so like every now and then you're like, we find people like this, but they were in the scene where the playground gets nuked.
Oh.
He's one of the kids.
Really?
Yeah, he and his brother are in the scene.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. He's a child being blown to bits and burnt alive by a nuclear blast, but
good for him.
Good for him, man. You know what I mean? Pretty sweet.
Nice thing to say you were part of.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Any final thoughts, Ash? Pretty bad.
No, I mean, if you like Terminator and you are prepared for it to be a little bit of a disappointment, go see it.
Yeah.
Would I pay to go see it? That's kind of always my thing with people at work. Like, I have a movie pass, so I don't care. But would I recommend?
We don't have movie pass. We don't. Please
sorry.
don't think of us like that.
AMC A-list.
We don't have movie pass.
We used to have.
We used to have it, but we don't endorse nor condone their actions
or their bankruptcy
or whatever. No, so you still pay for it though.
Yeah, but
you're not gonna pay. You're not gonna pay like $15.
Do I recommend the guy at my work?
Would you Redbox this?
You know, maybe.
The dumb guy at your work, you would recommend it to.
Yeah, you know, would I recommend him to spend the money to take his girlfriend to it? Well, because I know she's a pain. No, but I don't know.
There you go. If you know dumb people who just want to turn their minds off and just go watch something cool, it's not that bad.
Not that bad.
You know what I mean? But it's not great. No.
T2's better.
If you're a Terminator fan,
you'll be disappointed.
I think hang in there for the first half and then just walk away. Just walk away. Once they reach Arnold's house, just walk out the stairs. Just walk down the stairs.
Be at peace.
Just be at peace. That's it. That's the end of the movie. Just
Actually, it would be good if it ended there.
honestly, you know what I mean? Just stop. Everything that happens after that, all of the insanity, all of the jumping out of a Humvee with a parachute where you have to be outside the Humvee to unleash the parachute, all the just
and it goes into the water and no one dies.
we just arranged. I know a guy. He's gonna bring me an EMP. How did he get it out? Dude, what are you talking about? Oh, I hate to see you. Who wrote this? This is terrible. The poor major guy. He goes, "Here's the EMP." He gets killed, and then, okay, I'll try to get you some cover. They get on a plane. Like, who is arranging this? They just have a plane now. Did I miss something?
A ginormous plane.
They just get a plane, and it has an escort, and
Right,
then
where'd the
another,
escort come from?
and then another plane comes to refill, but he's hijacked that one. Like, what? No, what?
Yeah.
None of this makes sense.
No, none of it makes sense.
I just don't even know what to say.
Yeah, when you think about it too hard, you get real mad.
Yeah, if you start thinking about time travel, and then you pass out.
Not even time travel. It's just the inconsistencies and being the storyline just not melding together. It's just poof, another airplane just gonna kill the jets that are right next to it. What?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Absolute insanity.
Yes.
Nothing makes sense.
Nope.
Don't see it. I mean, I don't know how many poop emojis would you give it out of 5?
Are many poop emojis good or bad?
I think the more poop emoji, I don't know.
Out of like 5 stars, I'd give it maybe 2, and that's generous.
Well, there you go. 2-star review. Bad. There you go. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.